Here is an interview that I did recently with an Airbnb host. His name was Brian. Brian is an absolute champion. It was a privilege talking with him. So here's the interview. Keep an eye at the end of this video. You're going to see where he shows us a booking that he got. He got a booking for $19,000 on a single Airbnb booking. It's absolutely bonkers. So he goes into his fears and kind of really opens up, which I don't see a lot of Airbnb hosts do. So I really appreciated just his vulnerability in this interview, and I hope you guys get some nuggets from it, something to help you along your Airbnb journey. As always, guys, you're only one Airbnb away. I hope this inspires you to start your journey or even grow wherever you're at along your Airbnb journey. I hope this helps you out, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
We're live now. Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to have this interview today. So we've got my man on here, Brian McDonough. So I'll give you guys some background on Brian. So Brian and I have been working together for a few months now, and he has 2 Airbnbs out in Los Angeles, which is one of the hardest markets to get into. So I want to preference that right ahead. It's a huge market. It's saturated in lots of ways. But Brian has 2 properties out there that is currently making him $5,000 a month between the 2 of them profit. He's bringing home every month. And we're really just here to kind of go into how his story went from start to finish, because there were some trials and tribulations along the way. And I know them for sure. And I just want to hear them from him. So maybe it'll help a couple of you guys out there that are watching. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it. So Brian, we're just right off that. What made you decide to get into Airbnb in the first place?
Really, it's just about the passive income. I think in this day and age, there's so many different ways to make money nowadays, especially with the online thing and everything like that. So just really that. And also me and my buddy, we have a small construction business. So I kind of already understood, with the properties, the vibe and everything like that. And, what to look for, the type of flooring that's really nice. And, the spacing, how big the spaces are and everything like that. So really that the passive income, and then I just really wanted to get into it just based upon what I was doing before.
Yeah. So I remember when you first joined the program, and I was helping you kind of get established there out in LA, you were doing the construction, and then you were even doing selling things on eBay. So it's like you've had your hand in kind of a couple different side hustles and different just passive incomes that are coming in. So that's awesome that just you're like, let's just get this rolling out here. You've been thinking about it for a while. Let's kind of get to it. So it's great.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Really just the passive income. And before you got started, I know that's when we're doing anything new, there's a lot of fear that goes into, maybe that's starting a new job, starting a new relationship, moving out of state, or moving somewhere new. What was some of the fears that were surrounding getting started with Airbnb for you?
I would say just the unknown, because it's, I have a sales background. I've been in sales, but I was really just the fear was getting comfortable with the pitch. Because at the beginning of the pitch, it feels uncomfortable. It almost feels robotic in a sense. But until that, 3rd or 5th time that you do it, in person, or even, the 3rd time, to everyone, it varies. Then it's more definitely not robotic. It's more just with the flow. It doesn't sound robotic, and in a way it doesn't sound robotic at all. It's just that's how it feels, in your head.
Internally.
You know what I mean? Yeah. To them it's probably like, oh, okay. But yeah, I think just overcoming that, and then the fears. There's so many fears. Whenever you go into something that you've never been in before, and that's why it's so good that there's someone who's on the other side, like you, who has done it to help. I think that is what helped me a lot, because if I had any questions about objections to overcome or anything like that through meeting someone, hey, they asked this, I didn't really know what the hell to say. I could always ask you
when that curveball comes in.
Yeah. So yeah, just all the unknowns. What if it, doesn't work out? What if I never get a property? All these what ifs, right? What if I get a property and then it just doesn't book? What if I get a property, it books for 2 months, and then it just stops. Just random. We all have those doubts and everything, but just doing it and almost just jumping off a diving board and just sending it. That's the best way to do it. And having Dylan, obviously having you was very good for anything. I mean, it's different if I was just doing it on my own. I probably would have eventually been able to do it, but it would have been a lot harder because having the one-on-one to where I could message you or anything like that to be like, hey, this happened, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And just
I
having
remember
a
those 11 o'clock at night messages coming through.
Yeah, because I'm on the West. I would always be like, oh, dang, man, that was probably too late because I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's all good. So, well, cool. Let's talk a bit. I know for you, it was felt in the beginning, it like you were hitting a wall or like hitting your head against the wall because it was like you kept on going and approaching these different landlords and it was like no after no after no. I think you got like anywhere from like 10 to 20 no's, something like that, before you actually got your first yes. And like
Shoot, way more than that.
more than that, yeah, I know.
Well, and what's funny is the first yes was a yes, but then when it came down to sending over the paperwork, it would fall through. So,
yeah.
But sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
Oh, you're good. You're good. I remember just like every couple ones, you'd be like, they'd be like, okay, cool to be down for it. And then something would just come out of left field and just maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But it just like, it was just like, they'd send over the paperwork. I remember that one lady that was willing to give you like 5 bedrooms for like $20,000 a month. And you're like, oh man, I wish I had the funds for this right now. But you were only working with like, I think like 20K or something at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. So what is that? Let's say you're in, I want to be able to get like actual facts and like actual value for the people here that are watching. What is it? You're standing in the apartment and you're talking to the landlord. What does that pitch look like for you when you're going and like talking to them?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is from the vibe of the pitch that you have, but obviously when you do it a lot, you put your own twist on it, just like everything else. Everyone says something differently. But yeah, mainly just like, hey, I have a business. It's Sunnyside Stays LLC. I have 4 properties in Cincinnati where I grew up. I also have 2 here. We provide spacing for traveling nurses, first responders, business clients. They'll stay in my spaces for months at a time, mostly months at a time, weeks here and there, sometimes days. We sign just like a regular tenant. Instead of us in the space, obviously, it's our business clients. How does that, something along those lines, how does that sound to you? And then, because like you said, most of the time people are like, wait, so they don't really listen because
they're not listening
when you get into it.
Yourself.
But yeah, along those lines, and I do think that that really does help. That was a game changer for me. Sorry. That was a game changer for me towards the end, because before, when I was doing the pitches, I wasn't saying I had the 4, because a lot of people like experience, right? And I'd come close so many times to where literally just so close, and I was just getting so frustrating. I mean, over 80, 100, just so many no's. And I was trying. It's not like I wasn't trying. Every day I'd make a schedule to add 2 new properties, research the market, everything like that. It just wasn't working. And I think it would come down to a lot of times they would want to know about, hey, do you have another property? Can I see a point of reference? And then that's when we when the website usually does help. It's just sometimes it just doesn't work out with those people, but usually the website would help because they can see like, okay, we're visual creatures. Sorry, it's a little crazy over here. Can you hear that?
It's fine. Yeah, it's just a little dark. I can hear that.
But I think that's what helped more, and maybe it didn't, maybe it was just timing. But I did notice after I started saying in the pitch, hey, I have 4 properties in Cincinnati.
Yeah, sometimes, and essentially for people that are listening, like he has the 2 that are in LA right now, but I gave him permission to use me as reference since I am his coach. I referenced him back here in Cincinnati so that he could, hey, any landlords that you're working with, if they want reference, they can speak directly to me. So just for people that are listening there. Well, that's great. So it's essentially just presenting yourself as a business that is looking to provide housing for nurses, first responders, different business professionals coming in for days, weeks, months at a time. With that, I want to talk on that as well. Is if I remember correctly, you have a big month-long booking coming up as well for this coming year. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, so there's actually two. It's on the one in Glendale. There's one coming up actually within the next 2 weeks for I believe 2 months, and then there's another one for about 5 months. They're looking to move,
Okay.
but I guess I mean you'd be surprised with how much money some people have. So
Yeah.
they really love the space. They love the design that we have and everything like that, and they want to stay in my space while they're looking for a house.
Mm-hmm.
So that one is, I believe, 5 months. I don't know exactly because it's a little further out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one coming up is about a month or two.
Okay. With that 5 month one, I'm going to be nosy for myself and
Yeah, no
for the
worries.
audience.
Yeah.
Is I think I remember you sent it to me. It's like 19,000 or something like that. Are you able to pull it up and we can see it?
Yeah, I don't mind screen sharing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Well, I don't want you. Can you pull it up on your phone? I don't want you to share your whole screen just because I don't want people
Oh,
to have access to the
oh,
guest information.
right. Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
but yeah.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah, so you're essentially just booked out solid on that one for the next 5 months, and they just inquired through Airbnb.
Yeah. I mean, they said the main reason that they wanted to go with the space was because of all the reviews and with the things that you teach and everything like that, as far as the furniture and everything like that. I remember you telling me back in the day, like, because remember I was worried about these properties. I'd be searching in a small radius, and
Yeah.
you're like, dude, with what we're doing, like, I mean, it matters. You want to find a one in a good market to where it's good. But with what we're doing with the design, that you have and everything like that, with the furniture and how we just set it up, it really makes a huge difference. But to touch on that also, but to also touch on the guest who's coming, they purely booked it just based off all the reviews. They're
Nice. That's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
all your reviews are really good. But so here it is. I don't know if you can see it. This is the one coming up on the 19th.
Yeah, if you
This
could pull
one
up to the
is
camera, maybe we'll be able to see
yeah,
it.
this one is for 55 nights. Can you see it?
Oh, it's a little bit. There we go. Yep, 55 nights for $7,039. That's fucking awesome. So congrats.
Yeah, so that is the first one, and then the second one starts in the end of January, and that is for 152 nights. And it is for let's see it.
There we go. $19,429. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and then when they have the space, it's theirs for those 5 months while they're there. And then you're really just there if they need anything, right? If they're like, hey, we need something taken care of, something taken care of here. That's like, because they usually, when we do those long-term stays, it's just their space. And then they even are replenishing the stock of the paper towels and stuff like that. But we're just there if they need anything, doing a monthly check-in and stuff like that. So that's awesome, brother. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
So with the congrats on Superhost, by the way. I noticed you got it pretty quickly after you got those listings up. So I think I got a couple more questions, and then we'll see if anybody in the comments has questions.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your plans going forward with Airbnb?
My plans going forward is, if you can do one, if you can do two, you can do four, you can do five, you can do eight, you can do. I mean, the ceiling is limitless. There's always going to be a huge demand for short-term traveling, really anywhere. I mean, you in Cincinnati, any city. I actually have a buddy who lives in Greenville, South Carolina, and he just started into it, and it's it's doing well. So there's always going to be a huge demand. So really the sky is the limit really for me.
Nice. Okay, so really just, on a practical level, is that 2 properties this coming year, maybe 4? Is that 8? What are you thinking right now? What are you feeling?
As far as next year, you said? Sorry, I didn't. Are you saying towards the end of this year or for next year?
For this coming year, for 2023. So how many, you have 2 right now. How
Mhm.
many would you like to say by the end of next year? How many would you like to have?
I would say probably 2 to 4. 4 on a good end because
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna ramp up because we are going into the slower season, and that doesn't mean no one books. There's bookings, you're still making profit and everything like that.
Mhm.
But after January, maybe in January, because what I'm obviously um with single family homes, there's not a lot of people really looking in January and February for those homes. So you can actually get a better deal on one for me. That's what I'm thinking. And then,
Get a better deal on like the rent price in those
uh-huh,
times. Yeah.
yeah. And then from there, in 1 month, try to get 2, 3, and then it will be set up for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, the whole 9, 10 months of the peak season.
Yeah,
Uh,
the busy season coming through. Okay.
yeah, let's go.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
like stocks, right? Like, as we saw, when the market drops, it's a good time to buy. Like for, Bitcoin just dropped to 15K. And
Isn't
like
that crazy?
somebody bought
That's
it.
nuts.
People bought it 15K and it's back up another 12% just today. So,
Oh, wow.
buy low, sell high. So that's awesome. Let me see here. We'll do one more question, and then I'll open up for the questions we have in the comments. For the people that are starting out with Airbnb, what would be your advice for them if they're just getting started?
Mhm.
Maybe they have 8 to 20K, 10 to 20K in their bank account. What would be your advice for them?
Be aggressive. The more people that you talk to, even if you feel uncomfortable, that's how you develop your sales craft.
Hmm.
There's so many times where I was
When you
doing that.
say people, do you mean landlords?
Yeah, like
Uh,
pitching. Yeah, sorry, pitching to like landlords, because that's the whole point of this. You have to, get the owner's permission and everything like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, there'd be so many times to where, when I was first starting out, as I was saying before, I would text you, be like, hey, I don't know how to overcome this objection. And
yeah.
there's probably like 4 or 5 to where at the end, it's just like, you're so confident
Yep.
where you don't care whatever arrows or bullets they throw at you, you're just like, you're doing this. And that's just because, being aggressive and everything. And do not ever get discouraged. Literally, I got over
Yeah.
100 no's, and just the mindset of abundance, what Dylan teaches, which is very true. There's always going to be someone that is willing to give you their property as long as you work at it and everything like that and stay at it.
Mhm.
There's going to be someone that's out there to where it'll be a good fit. And there's sometimes to where when I got really close a few times, like 2 or 3 times, and it fell through,
Mhm.
I'm glad that happened, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have gotten into the 2 that I have now. And I don't want to work with someone if they're iffy, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Your properties that you have right now are like gorgeous. That one with the kitchen is absolutely amazing. So
I know. Yeah, that's
I
so
love that.
beautiful.
So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, real quick, I'll share like a picture of your listings so people can
Mhm.
see what they look like, and
Yeah.
then we'll open up for any questions we have in the comments. So
Yeah, for sure.
pull it up here real quick. Yeah, that one, oh my gosh, the kitchen's so nice.
So they're actually, those owners, they have it's a huge two-car garage, but it's big. It's probably over like 1,200 like square feet, and they're renovating it. They're working on getting the permits. So I was talking to them about a week ago. So I'm hoping that will work out, because that would be dope. 2 properties right next to each other.
Yeah, that would be super convenient. So one, I want to congratulate you first, because this is 5 stars with 20 reviews, which means you haven't had a negative like review yet, like come to date, which is awesome with this listing. So this
Thank
is
you.
your lovely, this is a 2-bedroom you have, right?
Yeah, this is the one in Burbank. It's by Universal Studios, which is really good because when people travel to LA, um, they like to go to like Hollywood, and it's known for movies, and it's near Universal and Hollywood and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah. This one's my favorite, guys. Look at this kitchen. Oh my gosh. You don't see kitchens like this on a rental. This is so nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I remember when you got those first pictures as well, the pictures weren't really up to par and you had to redo them.
Yeah, I remember I was like, dude, Dylan, they're fine. And then I got I was like, oh yeah, huge difference, man.
Yeah, night and day, night and day. So, well, cool. Let's see what questions we have here in the comments.
Okay, so the Q&A section here kind of sucked, so I cut it out of the video. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.